Artificial intelligence is changing our world in the most phenomenal ways. It's improving how doctors diagnose diseases. It's helping us clean plastics from our oceans. It's making it easier for children to learn, for people to connect, and for our global workforce to work better and smarter. Artificial intelligence has the power to benefit everyone, everywhere, and create a healthier future for our planet, but only if it's used for good. That's up to us. And that's why standards about AI are being developed at the highest levels, led by UNESCO. Guided by these standards, countries can define their own rules and regulations around AI.
UNESCO is a global leader in establishing ethical frameworks to govern AI technologies through the recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence that was approved by 193 countries in 2021 and that now counts on 124 with the return of the US to UNESCO. We are engaging directly with over 50 countries, sharing best practices and lessons learned to define ethical governance frameworks and ensure that AI delivers for good.
So, what happens if we don't have global ethical standards in place?
Of course there are risks. AI systems can produce biased results that reflect and perpetuate social inequalities based on gender, age, or race. AI can also be used to drive profit by manipulating people's choices. And right now, millions of people who could benefit from AI cannot access it at all. We have the power to mitigate these risks, but it starts by putting a strong ethical guardrails in place. UNESCO leads this global conversation on the ethics of AI. Right now, we are developing AI competencies frameworks for both teachers and students, for policymakers, for business people, to ensure AI is used effectively, ethically, and safely everywhere. The earlier we learn to use AI for good, the better for all of us.
The choices we make today will define our future. Let's use the power of AI for good.
Welcome to the Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. A center of excellence where education, technology, and industry meet to create innovation and impact. At FPTI UPI, we don't just prepare future teachers, we also nurture industry-ready professionals and innovators who are equipped to shape the future of work in education. Here, the balance between educational and non-educational programs creates a unique ecosystem, one that produces graduates who are not only academically strong, but also skilled, creative, and ready to lead in real-world industries. FPTI offers a wide range of study programs. Each program contributes to answering the challenges of the future industrial landscape, preparing graduates to be problem solvers in a world driven by innovation and sustainability. Our internationally qualified lecturers bring global perspectives into the classroom. They are not only educators, but also researchers, innovators, and professionals who actively collaborate with industries and academic institutions worldwide. Through their guidance, students gain hands-on experience and the confidence to innovate beyond boundaries. Equipped with state-of-the-art laboratories, workshops, studios, and teaching factories, FPTI provides students with the tools and environment to explore, experiment, and create. Here, theory meets practice, and creativity meets technology to bring real impact to society and industry. Beyond academics, FPTI UPI is a vibrant, inclusive, and collaborative community.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Backgrounds work together, sharing ideas and values.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. We're really happy to see participants from different places coming together in this session. Before we begin, may I kindly remind everyone to rename your username using the format country_name. For example, Indonesia_Nisa. So make sure that your username is your country_ your name. All right, once again, everyone, please rename your username using the format country_your name. For example, Indonesia_Nisa. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Salam kebajikan and warm greetings to everyone. It is a great honor for me to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Mr. Hiromichi Katayama, Program Specialist at the UNESCO Regional Office in Jakarta, Profesor Dr. Agustia Budi MSI, Vice Rector for Research, Community Service, and Partnership UPI, who is present today on behalf of Director of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. Dr. Eng Agus Setiawan MSI, Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and all respected speakers, colleagues, and participants. We are truly honored by your presence at today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the session, allow me to kindly highlight a few do's and don'ts to ensure the event runs smoothly. Okay. Please join the webinar on time to avoid missing important information, and then use your real name and organization for easy identification, and also don't forget to put your country in front of your name, and then keep your microphone mute unless you are invited to speak. So in the main session you don't have to activate your microphone, so keep your microphone mute and test your audio and internet connection before the session start. Don't forget to use the Q&A or chat feature or submit question politely and clearly, and also dress appropriately if your camera is turned on. Follow the moderator's instruction through the webinar. And then for don'ts in this event is do not unmute your microphone without permission. Do not interrupt speakers while they are presenting. Do not share unrelated links, ads, or spam in the chat. Do not turn on your camera unless explicitly permitted. Do not use offensive language or inappropriate behavior. Do not multitask loudly, typing, phone call, or background noises. And do not leave the rejoin repeatedly as it may disrupt the session. Ladies and gentlemen, today's webinar responds to the rapid transformation brought by artificial intelligence across higher education and technical and vocational education and training. AI is reshaping how knowledge is produced, how teaching and learning take place, and how institutions prepare graduates for evolving industry needs, particularly in the context of sustainability and green transition. At the global and regional levels, UNESCO emphasizes the importance of responsible, inclusive, and ethical AI adoption in education, ensuring that innovation remains human-centered and equitable. In Indonesia and the ASEAN region, AI is increasingly explored as a tool to empower educators, modernize curricula, and support future-oriented tactical skills. Jointly organized by Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia and UNESCO Regional Office Jakarta, it is my great honor to welcome you to the international webinar entitled AI-Driven Digital Transformation in TVET Institutions, Current Status, Practices, and Future Challenges. We are truly honored by the presence of distinguished stakeholders, policymakers, academic leaders, educators, researchers, industry representatives, students, and also partners from Indonesia and across the region. Your participation today reflects our shared commitment to advancing responsible, inclusive, and future-oriented artificial intelligence in education TVET. Today's agenda will start with opening remarks from UNESCO Regional Office in Jakarta, Vice Rectors for Research, Community Service, and Partnership Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and the Dean of the Faculty of the Technical and Vocational Education. So the program will then continue with presentation by our four speakers, followed by a Q&A session and a group photo session and also the closing. Ladies and gentlemen, to formally open today's webinar, we are deeply honored to invite a representative from UNESCO who will deliver the opening remarks and provide the global and regional context on AI in education and TVET. Please welcome Mr. Hiromichi Katayama, Program Specialist from the UNESCO Regional Office in Jakarta. Dear Mr. Katayama, the floor is respectfully yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction. Okay, so first of all, I thank you very much for UPI, the Education University of Indonesia, to co-host this webinar with UNESCO. And please allow me to briefly explain the background of this webinar series. I see that there are 178 participants, so thank you very much. I guess some of them are also participated in our last webinar that was held with UTHM in Malaysia, and there may be many more new participants from the Tibet communities. So our office, UNESCO Regional Office in Jakarta, we cover 5 countries in Southeast Asia, including Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Brunei, and Timor-Leste. And also we are serving as a liaison office with ASEAN Secretariat. So our interest is to create some new initiatives or new knowledge exchange, policy dialogue opportunities at the some of our countries and also at the regional level of ASEAN. And since we, myself and also most of the participants, since we are from the TVET communities, we would like to explore the possibility of starting some new initiatives, including aligning with the UNESCO strategy for Tibet 2022 to 2029, transforming Tibet for successful and just transition. And under this UNESCO strategy, we put an emphasis on ensuring the provision of flexible learning opportunities for all learners, including basic education, Tibet, and higher education. And also we would like to ensure that the contents of training and education should respond to the changing skills demand of industries, enterprises, and companies, so that our learners, the students, can be employable after finishing their programs. And in the meantime, UNESCO has some relevant tools and guidelines on the use of AI and education. But I would say that most of our existing tools and mechanisms, they are looking at the the use of AI in the classroom context, but we are from TVET community, TVET experts. So the education, teaching and learning in workplace context, workplace learning is equally or sometimes much more important than teaching and learning in the classroom. And so that's one of the reasons why we have decided to start this series of webinars on AI and TVET with our partners in our countries. And we have invited the Univoc centers. We have a network called TVET institution called Univoc. We have invited the Univoc centers to co-organize this webinar with us. And the first webinar was held in December last year with UTHN in Malaysia. And actually, this is the second webinar, which are ongoing today with the UPI in Indonesia. And we plan to have two additional webinars later this year. So by organizing these webinars, we'd like to learn from each country about the status and also the challenges on the use of AI on TVET, both AI in the context of teaching and learning in the classroom context, and also the workplace and work-based learning context. So let me share my screen. I hope you can see it. Yeah, so this is the just an outline of the new skills for an AI-driven labor market, which was identified by UNESCO. I'm not going to repeat it. You can see the set of technical skills, AI readiness skills, and also transversal and soft skills. I'm sure that you are already familiar with all of these kind of skills. But what we would like to learn from today's webinar is the status of the TVET context. So for instance, the data literacy, human-machine interaction, and also the ethical issues, they are important, of course, on the AI skills. But what does it mean in the context of AI? And what does it mean in the context of work-based learning and also the teaching and learning in the workplace, industries, and the enterprise context? So that's one of the things that we'd like to learn from the UPI colleagues. And I see the agenda of today's session. So there will be a presentation on AI for scientific publication and research productivities, and also the AI for electric vehicle smart charging. I think this is very important for us. We would like to learn more about the reality of AI and also challenge of the use of AI in the real life and also occupation-specific settings. So that's one thing. And also, maybe you may have heard that the UNESCO AI competency framework for teachers, and this is the summary. So you can see the some of the key aspects under the AI competency framework for teachers, like a human-centered mindset, ethics of AI, AI pedagogy, etc. But again, we'd like to learn from today's webinar about what these key aspect means in the context of AI. The AI pedagogy means the use of AI in teaching methodologies, but the teaching does not only take place in the classroom settings. We would like to pay equal attention to the teaching and learning in the work-based context and environment. So that's one of our expectations. I'll stop sharing the slide. Yeah. So, after completing the series of webinars, we'd like to compile the key findings, and we'd like to think about starting our new initiatives for the benefit of our member countries and also for the ASEAN regional entities. So I'd like to stop here, and I look forward to learning from the insights from UPI today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Katayama, for your insightful opening remarks and for highlighting UNESCO's vision and guidance on responsible and inclusive AI in education. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the welcome address from the host institution. It is my great honor to invite Professor Dr. Agustia Budi MSI, Vice Rector for Research, Community Service, and Partnership, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, to deliver his welcome address. Dear Professor Dr. Agustia Budi MSI, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anissa. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Distinguished guests, representative of UNESCO, Mr. Hiromichi Katayama, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education, Mr. Agustiawan, esteemed speakers, college student, and participant, good afternoon and Assalamualaikum once again. So it is always a pleasure for me, on behalf of the Rector, to welcome you to this international webinar on AI and TVET, jointly organized by Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education and UNESCO Regional Office in Jakarta. I would like to express our sincere appreciations to UNESCO for this valuable collaboration and for its continuous commitment to promoting responsible and human-centered innovation in education. Ladies and gentlemen, artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming the landscape of technical and vocational education and training. In TVET institution, AI is no longer merely a technological tool, but a strategic component that influences research productivity, teaching, learning practices, curriculum relevance, and the alignment of graduates with future industrial needs. However, technological advancements must always be accompanied by ethical awareness, institutional readiness, and educational purposes. The real challenge for higher education and TVET today is not whether we adopt AI, but how we adopt it responsibly, inclusively, and in ways that support sustainability and human development. This webinar provides an important platform to reflect on current practices, share emerging experiences, and discuss future challenges related to AI-driven digital transformation in TVET. The themes presented today, ranging from AI in scientific publications, sustainability-oriented teaching and learning, applied innovations in electric vehicle technologies, to responsible AI, used from student perspective, represent key dimensions of future-ready TVET ecosystem. At UPI, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia here in Bandung, we remain and will always committed to strengthening and support TVET as a driver for educational quality, workforce relevance, and sustainable development, particularly through collaboration with national and international partners. We have here the Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education, and also we have here TVET centers at our university, which continuously active in TVET development in Indonesia and also in the regions. So I hope this webinar will not only generate meaningful discussions, but also open pathways for continuous cooperations and collaborations among TVET community in the regions and also in the world. Also the capacity building and concrete follow-up initiative. On behalf of the Rector, once again, I wish you all a productive and insightful webinar. Thank you very much. We hope you have a fruitful webinar today and have some implementations, and more collaborations in the future. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Agustia Budi MSI, for the warm welcome and for emphasizing the commitment of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia in advancing digital transformation and innovation in TVET. Ladies and gentlemen, next we will hear the faculty welcome message. Please allow me to invite Dr. Eng Agustiawan MSI, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, to deliver his remarks. Dear Associate Professor Dr. Eng Agustiawan MSI, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Anissa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Distinguished representative of UNESCO Regional Office in Jakarta, here we have Mr. Hiromichi Katayama with the team. Rector of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, represented by Vice Rector for Research, Community Service, and Partnership, Professor Agustia Budi. Esteemed speakers, colleagues, students, and participants, good afternoon. It is an honor for me, on behalf of the Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and as a coordinator of the UNEFOC Center UPI, to welcome you to this international webinar on AI and TVET. This webinar is a meaningful reflection of our shared commitment to advancing TVET transformation through international collaboration, particularly with UNESCO and the UNEFOC network. We are grateful for the trust and partnership that continue to position UPI as an active contributor to regional and global TVET discourse. Ladies and gentlemen, from the perspective of TVET institution, artificial intelligence presents both opportunities and responsibilities. AI can enhance teaching and learning, strengthen research productivity, and support emerging technical fields aligned with the green transition. At the same time, it challenges us to rethink the curriculum design, educator readiness, and institutional governance to ensure that technology remains ethical, inclusive, and pedagogical sound. Here at FPTIUP, we see AI not as a replacement for educator, but as a learning enabler, supporting sustainability-oriented curricula, applied innovation, and future skill development. Through our role as a UNEFOC Center, we actively promote knowledge sharing, capacity building, and collaborative initiatives that connect teacher education, vocational practices, and industry relevance. The theme discussed today, from AI in scientific publication and sustainability-focused learning to applied innovation in electrical vehicle technologies and responsible AI used from a student perspective, represent key priorities for strengthening TVET ecosystem in Indonesia and the ASEAN region. We hope this webinar will serve as a platform not only for dialogue, but also for future collaboration, joint program, and concrete action within the UNEFOC and TVET community. With that, I would like to wish all participants a productive and insightful discussion. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agustiawan MSE, for your encouraging remarks and for highlighting the faculty's role in strengthening AI-driven innovation and sustainability in TVET education. Thank you for all remarks from all the stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the main session, may I invite all participants to turn on the cameras for our group photo session. So please, for all the participation, please turn on your camera. Okay, the photo session will be led by me. So please make sure that you are turned on your camera first. Okay. Okay. I will count until 3 and give your best smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now we move on to the main session. Please allow me to briefly introduce our moderator, who will guide us today, discussion and facilitate the exchange of ideas with our distinguished speaker. Our moderator for this session is Dr. Ilham Dania, PhD from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. She is currently an assistant professor and researcher at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and also the head of national and international partnership at FPTI UPI. She earned her doctoral degree in architecture and urban planning from SUNY Buffalo, United States. Her academic and research expertise includes TVET, housing and urban studies, as well as GIS-based specialist analysis with a strong research focus on the nexus between urban space and education system. In addition, she is a certified professional engineer in building construction, a professional architect, and an active member of the organizing committee of the Indonesian Institute of Architects West Java. With her strong academic background and extensive professional experience, we are truly honored to have her guiding today's discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our moderator for today, Dr. Ilham Dania, PhD. Dr. Ilham Dania, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, our dear Master of Ceremony, Dr. Nisa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, being a moderator for this session. First of all, I'd like to greet our distinguished representative of UNESCO Regional Office Jakarta, our Vice Rector of Research and Community Service and Partnership UPI, our Dean of APTI UP and Coordinator of UNOVAC Center Indonesia. Also, distinguished Vice Deans, esteemed speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to moderate the session today. So first of all, I would like to call upon our first presenter, Dr. Didin Wahyudin. I would like to briefly introduce Dr. Didin Wahyudin. Currently, he is the head of Electrical Engineering Study Program, Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education at UPI. He is a branch counselor of IEEE Student Branch UPI. He holds his doctoral degree from Japan Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. He is lecturer and researcher in Internet of Things, embedded systems, automation, and digital learning technologies. He is also a researcher in TVET Research Center, focusing on mobile learning, remote lab, and game-based training. So without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Didin to begin his presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Ilham, for the opportunity. Good day, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, it is an honor for me to be here to discuss our topics today about AI for scientific publication and research productivity. I'm sorry, I didn't share my slide. Okay. Okay. Yes, sorry, just wait. Is it already so, Bu Ilham?
It is shown in our screen, Pak Didin.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, next. Yeah, it is an honor for me to be here to discuss our topic today is about AI for scientific publication and research productivity. So today we will explore how to integrate this powerful, yeah, it's mean AI, the powerful tools into our workflow while maintaining the highest standard for academic integrity. Yeah, in this era, AI is a powerhouse for productivity. We can use for teaching or learning and also for research and publication. So, to guide us how to use the I have developed a 5-stage roadmap for the modern researcher. So, the first one is we have discovery, where we use AI to find research gaps and maybe also collecting the reference. Yeah. Second is synthesis. Yeah, to help us digest the complex data. And third, we focus on drafting, how to refine our academic manuscript for academic tone. Yeah. And the fourth is publication, navigating the submission maze. And finally, the most importantly, how we aware ethical address. Yeah, this is the essential rules of the game that ensure our work remains credible and honest. Okay, our first phase is preparation and discovery. We are now with using AI shifting from traditional keyword based search into semantic search. Yeah. In this role, AI acts as an academic advisor to help us brainstorm and identify the research gaps by using tools like Scopus AI, Research Rabbit, Elicit, or Semantic Scholar. We can objectively find the hidden papers and also mapping the citation network to see how ideas connected. So this advanced approach ensures that our literature review is not just a list of reference, but also a strategic map of the academic landscape that highlights where our unique contribution fit best. The next phase is synthesis and analysis, yeah, where we understand complex data. We have entered the era of chat with PDF, yeah, where we ground AI in our own sources to prevent AI bias. You can upload folders of PDFs to generate summarize, or for example, in TVET context, we can also synthesize global industry standard and rule into a local context. By put in the AI's response to these specific documents, we transform a general purpose tool into a specialized research assistant that provides evidence-based insight that tailor to our unique dataset. Okay, the next is how about bias in AI, or we can call hallucination. If we provide a poor prompt, sometimes AI will give us a bias. So to anticipate and to mitigate the hallucination in AI, we must utilize grounded AI. That is, by providing a curated database of verified PDFs. This ensures that evidence-based response rather than predictive probabilities. We must continuously evaluate outputs and apply chain of thought prompting. Yeah, we can call or we can ask AI to thinking step by step. This is to enhance logical precision, reduce listening errors, and also maintain the highest standard of academic integrity. The third phase is about focus on writing and drafting workflow. So we can write from outline to polish, systematically and gradually. We begin by using signs of the embedded patterns, for example, that is in discussion outlines. And then technical notes and raw data into quality. We can utilize special tools like Paperpal, Killbot, Grammarly, and Writeful to refine our tone and linguistic precision before submission. How about to guide AI that can provide us a good result? Yeah, to get the best result, you need a high quality prompting. Yeah, define AI as a role as a senior supervisor and give AI tasks such as drafting an abstract, set constraint like about 150 words, yeah, and also please use active voice for our manuscript. Yeah, this program framework ensure that AI as a precise academic partner rather than a generic assistant. By providing this specific context, you guide the AI to generate professional, publication-ready content that aligns with the strictly scholar standard or with strict scholarly standard of writing. And then phase 4 is focus on strategic side of the submission process. AI serves as a powerful tool for targeting journal, helping us find the right fit for our specific, for example, TVET research. Additionally, we can leverage AI to draft professional cover letters based on our abstract. Perhaps most importantly, use it to pre-frame the critical feedback from the reviewer into polite, into constructive and actionable revision. By utilizing AI as a communication bridge, researcher can maintain a professional tone during the peer review process, ensuring that critical feedback is translated into meaningful improvement for the manuscript. Next phase is 5 covers the final administrative. Phase 5 is about how to do the final administrative. Sometimes it hurdles. This is for publication journey. AI assists in checklist management, ensuring we meet all specific journal submission requirements without oversight. It also helps in drafting compelling letters that highlight our research significance and reframing reviewer feedback into a clear roadmap for our final manuscript revision. About ethics, accountability, now the core of our topic today, that AI cannot be listed as an author. The human researcher is 100% responsible for all AI-generated content. Plagiarism is a major risk in publication. So AI-generated text must be very originality, and all AI use must be disclosed in your acknowledgement and methods. Upholding this standard ensure that technological assistance never compromises the fundamental principle of academic honesty and personal responsibility. So here is the acceptable of using AI for research and publication. While AI use has strict boundaries, it significantly enhances productivity within ethical limits. Okay, acceptable use is including using AI for language and editing, to refine grammar and flow, to have ideation and brainstorming topics, and also structural outlines. AI can also generate visual aids to explain complex concepts, support literacy through prompt logging or skill development, and also assist in analytics for trend prediction under human oversight. The golden rule for these activities is disclosure. Yeah, you must always state that AI involvement in your knowledge and method is to maintain transparency. And what is about unacceptable using AI in our research? Yeah, we must address that ethical boundaries that cannot be crossed. Yeah, unacceptable AI use includes listing AI as co-author, which is strictly forbidden, yeah, by publisher like ACM or IEEE. Submitting AI-generated text as your own original risk is considered plagiarism, and hiding AI involvement constitute as academic dishonesty. Regarding security, yeah, you must never input sensitive personal or research data into AI tools to protect data privacy. Additionally, we must remain vigilant against AI bias that causes structural discrimination, and uphold reviewer ethics by never uploading unpublished manuscript to AI for peer review purposes. Yeah, because this is unethics to give the the author manuscript to the AI for review. Yeah. Okay, to summarize, AI can make us more efficient and our writing more polite. However, integrity is our most valuable currency. Be transparent, be skeptical of AI facts that is not sometimes not facts, and always stay in control of the narrative. Ultimately, while technology can accelerate the pace of our work, it is our commitment to ethical standard that defines the true impact and credibility of our research. Yeah, there is the danger of hallucination or AI bias. AI bias, yeah. We must acknowledge the danger of AI bias, where AI fabricates fake citation because it predicts the next word rather than provide the truth. In TVET research, we use AI to bridge industry data with academic insight, but we must protect intellectual property by opting out of training modes in AI setting. Always verify every generated reference against a trusted database to ensure that our work remains grounded in factual peer-review evidence. Okay, next is about privacy. Yeah, privacy is critical. When you upload data to ChatGPT, for example, it might be used to train future model. Our guide recommends anonymizing all data first and checking your privacy setting to ensure that your research isn't leaked into the public domain. Taking this proactive step creates a secure digital workspace where innovation can flourish without compromising the confidentiality of our proprietary findings. So the next is a typical AI assisted. Yeah. From our discussion, there are 5 important things that AI can be used for brainstorming. Yeah. Yeah. We can start with AI-driven brainstorming to identify gaps, but it must always conclude with a rigorous human verification. Yeah. This human activity in the loop approach is the essential boundary that separates high quality, credible research from generic, potentially flawed AI generated content. And by treating AI as an assistant rather than an author, you ensure that every insight generated is filtered through your own professional expertise and ethical judgment. This collaborative with AI cycle ensure that while AI handles the heavy lifting of data, organization, and drafting, the final manuscript remains a true reflection of human critical thinking and academic rigor. Lastly, AI can make us more efficient and our writing more precise. However, integrity is our most valuable currency. Be transparent, and we also should skeptical of AI facts didn't facts, and always stay in control of the narrative. While technology can accelerate the pace of our work, it is our commitment to ethical standard that defines the true impact and credibility of our research. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Didin, for a very insightful presentation on how AI is used for scientific publication and research productivity. You mentioned about how AI can be used in various research stages and also in various aspects of publication, of course, with the ethical issues. Now, I need to mention that this session will be filled with 4 distinguished speakers. So the first was Dr. Didin Wahyudin, and the second will be Mr. Oka Ramadan. He is a PhD student and research assistant in TVET. We'll talk about AI for sustainability in teaching and learning about sustainability in TVET. So before we let Mr. Oka Ramadan to present his materials, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Oka Ramadan. He is a doctoral student in Technical and Vocational Education, School of Postgraduate Studies, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. He is Vice Editor-in-Chief of Infotech Journal and also a research assistant in Green Stack and Pro-Vest Erasmus Plus project. Currently, he holds scholarship of PMDSU, which is a fast-track scholarship program from our ministry. And among his international engagements are as panelists in UNESCO UNIVOC WYSD 2025 in Paris. He's also instructor in AI integrated vocational teacher pedagogy programs. He holds some awards, prestigious awards. Among those are top 6 national most outstanding student in Indonesia in 2021, and is also best presenter UPSI UP International Conference 2023 in Malaysia. Mr. Oka Ramadan, I would like to let you present your materials in 15 minutes. The screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ilham, for this very special opportunities for me. For sure, it's an honor to be invited as one of the panelists in this very special forum. Well, good afternoon, from Indonesia, or shall I say good morning from Dresden, Germany, because it's still in the morning. The sun hasn't risen yet, actually. Um, Thank you very much for the opportunity, and good morning to all of you, all the participants across nations and regions, as well across backgrounds, I believe, because we have researcher, educators, and also policymakers coming up in this, gather up in this spatial forum. My name is Muhammad Okar Ramadan. I'm a doctoral candidate in the field of technical and vocational education from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, but currently I'm very grateful to be involved in an exchange program and as well as a research internship here in TU Dresden, Germany, as well as working on my dissertation, which is also correlate with what we are going to discuss today. So allow me to share with you a bit glance about my previous and also current research within the next 15 minutes. We are going to discuss two of the things that has been a major concern globally, which is AI and sustainability, especially AI for sustainability teaching and learning in TVET, which focus on strengthening green skills through AI enhanced learning pathways. Next slide, please. I would like to cover my presentation by connecting how Indonesia is doing right now, our status on green jobs and green skills. I would like to also share a practical approach for using AI in terms of green pedagogy in terms of supporting the attainment of green skills, and also close with our future challenges and what we can do. I'm not sure this is the right slides that we have. Could you please move back to our very first slides, please? And then next slide. Okay, next slides. I don't think the slides is in order. Okay. The next slide should be the topic outline. There you go. There you have it. Okay. This would be what we are going to talk for the next 15 or 40 minutes because the time is running out for sure. Okay, we can go to the next slides. Why we are going to talk about this, because this has been a major concern within not only in Indonesia, but I do also believe globally. But in Indonesian context, we are actually entering a major transition from the conventional industries practice towards green jobs. This shift is captured in Indonesia Green Workforce Development Roadmap, which is published in April 2025. It's been a recent update of what out of how green job landscape in Indonesia. The vision is not only to create green jobs, but also to build a qualified, productive, and competitive green workforce, supporting Indonesia's long-term development goals towards 2045, which is our which is projected as our demographical bonus in Indonesia. In this roadmap, we can see projections about the green job opportunities, which is growing from around 4 million in 2025 to around 5.3 million in 2029. The green job market in Indonesia will consist with 8 priority in green economy sector, you can see the eight sectors of green economy priority in these slides. For example, some of them are renewable energy, forestry, industrial processes, waste management, recycling, sustainable agriculture, and so on and so on. So the opportunity is very much real, and this is why exactly TVET becomes more critical. TVET is one of the strongest pipelines to prepare young generations to enter this green job market. Because green job need green workforce that also has to have green skills. We can go to the next slides, please. Yeah, there you go. Because green job need a green workforce and green workforce need to have green skills. So we how we define green skills, what does it mean? Well, green skills, CEDEFOP and as well as UNEVOC define green skills as the skills needed by the workforce in all sectors and at all levels to help the adaptation of the products, services, and process to change due to climate change and to environmental requirements and regulation. The question is, does our workforce or our prospective workforce have green skills? Let me connect that big questions into a field of evidence from our previous research. We revealed that the current state of green skills among vocational high school students in Indonesia, specifically from my study, which is in agribusiness and agri-technology sector in West Java, field that often assume green. Yeah, we involve 521 students from 10 schools across 8 jurisdictional areas in West Java, and we look at several dimensions such as environmental awareness, innovation skills, communication skills, adaptability skills, and also waste management. The results is pretty much concerning, which will be shown to you in the next slides. If we look at these slides, environmental awareness is still low, innovation skills are also low, communication skills are very low, waste management are also low. The only have a better level relatively is adaptability skills. From my analysis, this problem caused by two root causes. The first of all, that green skills is not currently yet fully a core in the curriculum, is not yet addressed specifically and ruled by the government. And it also often not mainstream at all into the heart of vocational learning outcomes. And the second causes is because the teacher capacity and understanding of green skills is still considered as uneven, which affects how sustainability is translated into teaching practice and assessment. So what does it mean for TVET? It means that we need learning design that doesn't treat sustainability as an extra topic for sure, but embeds into authentic vocational task and performance. And to tackle these challenges, AI, especially the generative AI, has great potential to support this. How does AI can support this? Next slide, please. Well, In Indonesia, we currently trying to push as well the integration of AI because we are currently see AI as an opportunity for sure. We can position the AI as strategically effective to help TVET sectors in learning, assessment, and mapping skills that needed by the industries. Currently, we have guidance for utilization of generative AI, especially in higher education, not yet in secondary or basic education. And this also address how AI is increasingly seen as a strategic tool to help learning better. In parallel, AI is also becoming part of school level policy through initiatives like coding and AI as an elective subject, which is also brings up correlations and effect on teacher that teacher needs to also understand how AIs work and working with AIs. At the global level, earlier, Mr. Hiromichi also brings up how UNESCO has also published an AI competency framework for teacher and students, emphasizing responsible and human-centered use within the educational sectors. However, this policy must be matched with the readiness and the governance. The readiness issue includes knowledge and skills gap. We have concerns about access to informations, risk, and also bias of the utilization of AI itself if not used properly. So ethical and inclusive governance become an essential thing that needs to be focused on. Next slide, please. We're going to see a deeper what is competencies, what are competencies that needed by the teacher in terms of using AI. This AI competency is published by the UNESCO recently. You can check it on the website, the UNESCO websites. It consists with several aspects of skills that needed to be acquired by a teacher, as well the progressions level on each aspect. But before we needs to understand about this competency, one thing that we need or we should remember is that the framing of how AI is used within this framework. So in this framework, AI can be called as a co-designer, a co-tutor, and a co-analyst, but never an autopilot. Teacher remains the driver, especially TVET, where we must consider a lot of things, especially tools, workshop reality. Does it feasible to do such stuff, and so on and so on. This is why we need a structured approach, not only a random prompting. Not only we ask how AI to do our job, but also how to really clarify the context of how we utilize AI. Next, please. Research in learning design recently increasingly shows that generative AI can support planning and design work, especially by reducing time spent on drafting by generating multiple design alternatives quickly. But the same literature also warns us, actually, that the quality is not come by automatically. AI-generated design can easily become generic or misaligned with classroom realities if teachers do not provide a strong constraint or validation. So the key is that for user, AI can be used for sure to accelerate the process, but maintaining the human judgment and contextual fit is also a very, very crucial part in terms of utilizing an AI. We can go to the next slides. I would like to pretty much fasten my presentation. That brings me to a practical how to use AI. In this respect, my research in my previous thesis proposed a green framework that structured how we can prompt an AI to develop a learning plan that promote green skills. So to operationalize the AI, we can use the IDEA framework that been developed by previous researcher, as well as combine with my framework how to make the learning plan much more greener. Green framework is not defined as green, but it's an abbreviation of procedural step towards how do we prompt the AI. Well, in our experience working with teacher in this within this approach, the learning plan that produce using this practice and procedure is more aligned with green skills and as well easier to implement the real workshop and school environment. However, we must still be honest about the risk and future challenges, which is be will be shown in the next slide, please. The next one is this is the risk and needs to be figure out how do we mitigate it because AI has a risk including hallucination. Sometimes it sounds coherent, but some other stuff it can be it can be happen where a theoretical is flow and not aligned with the conceptual theory. And then as well as misalignment with TVET context, over generalized green content and weak rubrics. We also have a concern in privacy issues that also brings up a lot of bias and fairness risk. So we need a guardrail. Yeah.
Mr. Oka.
Yeah.
It's a very
Okay.
interesting
Oh, yeah.
materials you're presenting. But do you mind if we continue this discussions in the
For sure.
question and answer sessions?
Okay, I do apologize because of the time limitations. We can jump into the next slides if you may. Just to conclude my presentation, I would like to call an actions that we need to make a collective efforts in addressing this concern. The goal is pretty much simple, is actually how to make AI work for us, work for sustainability and for sure responsibly from the classroom practice to the systematic reform. I do look forward to have the discussion with all of you and other speaker as well and learning from your perspective. Thank you very much, Dr. Ilham, for your kind reminders.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oka Ramadan, for your very interesting presentation pertinent to green framework and how to integrate that with the teacher AI-supported green pedagogy. So you highlight that teacher remains the driver of the teaching and learning process, while AI is the co-designer. We will continue in the discussion session. I thank you for agreeing to join us far away from Dresden, Germany. I really appreciate that. So bear with us. We will proceed to the question and answer session after our fourth speaker will present the materials. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for staying with us during our presentation sessions. Now, I would like to introduce our third speaker in our international webinar on AI and TVET. He will be Dr. Umar Hanif Ramadhani. Dr. Umar Ramadhani, he is a researcher and lecturer in sustainable energy system. I believe that Dr. Umar is already joining us. And he also specialist in power system and renewable energy integration. He holds his doctorate degree in renewable energy systems from Uppsala University, Sweden, and also Master of Energy Change from Australian National University, Australia. This is a very prominent university in Australia. His expertise among those are integration of photovoltaics, electric vehicles charging, and energy storage. Among his international experience and projects are energy transition and net zero studies in Indonesia and Sweden. The second is consultancy projects with IESR, Bappenas, GGGI, and SWICO. And he is also prolific and productive in writing publications, leading in Q1 energy journals. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Umar Hanif Ramadhani to the stage. Dr. Umar, the screen is yours for 15 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. It's such an honor for me to present in this event. I already promised to be in the best location for the signal and so on, but unfortunately, it's looking not really good here, but I'm still trying. I hope I will not ruin the presentation now. So once again, my name is Umar, lecturer from Renewable Energy Engineering Program here in UPI. There are currently only 2 bachelor program in renewable energy engineering in Indonesia, and we are probably one of them. So today I will talk about the AI for electric vehicle smart charging as one of future skill area in TVET that it can be a good example after what Sir Didier and Sir Oka presented before. So next. Why transportation? I think I just want to once again remind us the main action is because of the main reason of the action is for the climate. We have the rising total anthropogenic GHG emission here in the world, and as seen in the slide, the GHG by sector and subsector here for 2019 before the pandemic, the transportation sector is a major contributor to the air pollution. So the main goal of the electrification of the vehicle in transportation is to reduce the pollution. Next. And the second reason is here, as in the next slide, that the share of transportation-related carbon is dominated by a private vehicle ownership and usage. Therefore, the contributor of the pollution from the transportation is dominated by the user. So we really need to know the behavior of the user and the technology behind it and the trends for it and how the change in this trend can be impacted to the TVET area here. So I will explain that. So first, the transportation is the major contributor of the GHG emission, and it will changing. And for these changes, we will need to prepare several things and what is needed to be done in the TVET area. Next. Here, so the transportation sector is currently undergoing a major technological transition from the internal combustion vehicle to the electric vehicle. These transitions therefore requires significant changes because the system is really, really different. The impact is really, really different. The user is really, really different. What is needed from the user is also really, really different. Therefore, the transition from the internal combustion vehicle, I mean, it's just the usual or the conventional vehicle to the electric vehicle requires significant changes. So it will change the TVET in this area as well. So previously, we already moved from the mechanical system to the electrical system, but in the future, it will increase its interaction to the energy system. That's why the TVET and transportation sector will undergo some huge transformation in the future. Next. It is already the transition is really running even in itself, like 5 years ago in electric vehicles. 10 years ago, perhaps we didn't even talk about it. But now, even here in Indonesia, we already have a lot of the electric vehicle in our street. The penetration is become higher and higher. And it's happening even more in the world. Like, for example, in Norway, the picture on the right that almost 80% of the sales in car in 2021 is electric vehicle. And the newest number had already produced as well in 2025. More than 93% of the vehicle sales in Norway is for the electric vehicle. It is really, really happening around the world, and the TVET hence need to do some transformation as well. Next. The electric vehicle is rely entirely on the electricity as an energy source is the main difference. With the motivation is to decarbonize our transportation sector, it will rely on the electricity. However, the EV charging introduces new loads, new huge loads to the power distribution network. So it's not like changing loads, it's not changing old loads that previously already exist in our power system. It is introducing new loads to our power distribution network, and sometimes in the not a really a good time. And the electric vehicle also tightly coupled with the power system operation. It should follow the power system regulation, and it has a huge impact on the power system as well. Therefore, the electric vehicles now can be considered like a mobile electrical loads, mobile electrical huge loads with the storage capability. So when the electric vehicle is charging, it's not really used for that time, but is actually an energy storage needed for their travel journey. Next, and because the electric vehicle is charging in the power system, there are several technical challenges of EV charging, as can be seen in the picture here. So the main issue in the power system is under voltage issue because of the huge loads that are happening, especially in the end of the electrical feeder in low voltage network. And other technical challenges is the limited transformer and the feeder capacity because it was not designed to have a huge load like electric vehicle charging in the system. And also the demand is often happening in the peak demand. So the electric vehicle charging demand is often happening in the peak time, like after work. So people, because it is dominated by residential charging, people usually after going to work, they're going home and charge it at their home when it's already taking the time. So the electric charging annually making it even worse. Therefore, there are several quality and reliability issues of this demand is not considered before. Therefore, there are a lot of technical challenges of EV charging houses. Next. Then, once again, as already told before, that the main motivation of the electrification of transportation is should
We will wait for Dr. Umar Hanif to solve the technical difficulties.
be for the climate action.
I believe that
Can
we
you
lose
hear me?
Dr. Umar Hanif. I think maybe you have difficulties in terms of your connection because we heard your voice fragmented.
All right, okay. So how about now? Is it better?
Yeah, it's better. Thank you.
Okay, once again, I'm really apologize for the committee. I already promised to give my best, but I'm trying to give the best connection here, but eventually it's not happening. So let me just going a little bit for my presentation. So the electricity system that is dominated by coal-fired power plants or the fossil fuel based power plants is not really helping because the main motivation to the electrification of transportation is for the climate action, is to decarbonize our transportation. Hence, the EV deployment must be supported by renewable energy sources. This is the requirement for this transformation. However, going to the next slide. Integrating EVs and renewable energy is even more difficult because one of the main source is the solar PV, solar photovoltaic generation, which is happening during the daytime. But based on our studies, the EV charging typically occurs during the nighttime when they are already going back from their works. So it creates a mismatch between the energy generation and the consumption even higher. So when we installing PV system, for example, it's not really helping because it will just cover a little bit fraction of the electric vehicle charging demand. This mismatch leads to some condition, including the voltage and loading problem in the grid. So let me go in a little bit because we need to carbonize our transportation. We need to move to the electric one, but it will not happening unless we are using renewable energy sources. However, the main renewable energy sources has a huge mismatch with the electric vehicle charging demands, and it will just make the system worse. And hence, the AI smart charging will take place in the future. So next, one of the smart charging, it predicts when it will come. It predicts the solar PV production, it predicts the load, and it predicts the power system condition. Because the conventional charging strategies are not adaptive, and the artificial intelligence has a central role to predict the condition, to optimize the charging time and power level, with the main objective to reduce the peak load and maintain the grid stability. So it is the future of the electric vehicle charging that is happening right now. So for the next one, next slide, please. It shows some advantage of using the smart charging on power system, but let's go to the last slide. Here, what I want to talk about to all the participants here, that previously the TVET curricula focus on the mechanical area of transportation. I mean, with the internal combustion vehicle, with the engine, fuel system, and the mechanical component. Currently, we are already moving to the electrification. So the TVET curricula already incorporating the electric vehicle and so on. But we cannot stop here. We need to keep up.
We will wait for Dr. Umar Hanif to retrieve his connection back.
I'm really sorry once again. Can you hear me now? All right, I will make it short. And the future is that we really need to prepare is the AI era, even in the transportation, because the transportation is not only about the mechanical itself, it will become more the rectification, and furthermore, it impacts the power system and energy system in the future that we really need to ready in the future for our TVET curricula and our educator and instructor to be ready for this future of the electric vehicle that we all have. So thank you so much. I think that's all. Once again, to the all committees and the participants, I'm really apologize for the bad connection that I'm having. I already tried my best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Umar Hanif, for a very insightful presentation pertinent to future skill area in TVET, particularly about AI for electric vehicle smart charging. And also, thank you very much for highlighting how this changing has implications on TVET, how the transition from the previous era, current situation, and the future that will lead into a very productive discussion in question and answer session. Thank you once again, Dr. Umar Hanif Ramadhani. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for bearing with us throughout the speaker session. And we will move forward to our last but not least presenter in this session. We will have Nabila Dwisepti Cahyani. Nabila Dwisepti Cahyani, we are very proud of her since she is our most outstanding student of Faculty of Engineering and Industrial Education in UPI in 2026. Currently, she is a student in bachelor program in architecture. She has several international engagement. One of those are in the Indonesian representative in Asian Comic Exchange Program or Access, Master of Ceremony in IIEF RELO program in US Embassy, and also participant in Sprout Academy SEA in ASEAN. Among her expertise and interests is in architecture design, visual communication, student leadership, and creative media. She also have multiple awards in poster design, architectural sketch, and digital competitions. She will speak about student perspective on responsible use of AI in learning and academic work. Nabila Dwisapti Cahyani, the screen is yours for 15 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Dr. Ilham Dania for introducing me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to all distinguished participants, to the honorable representative from UNESCO, to esteemed leadership of FATI, UPI, respected lecturers and educators, and fellow students joining us today via Zoom. It is an honor to be a part of this important discussion. My name is Nabila, an architecture student class of 2023, and I have the privilege of sharing the student perspective of responsible AI use in learning and academic work. We've all heard about ChatGPT, maybe use Midjourney or DALL-E, or relied on AI coding assistant. But the big question is, how do we use these tools ethically while maintaining our academic integrity? Today, I want to have an honest conversation about this, not from policy standpoint, but from my experience as a student navigating this new landscape every day. Let's dive in. Next slide, please. Slide, please. The other one, maybe? It's the 2 days. It's about today's topic. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. So here's what we'll cover in the next 15 minutes. First, we'll look at what AI tools students actually use. It's more just ChatGPT. Second of all, a real experience across different subjects. Third, the critical part, the ethical boundaries, what's okay and what's not. And finally, what student needs from educators and navigate to responsibility. Let's start. Can you... Okay. Okay, so let's talk about what AI tools are actually out there. Because when people say students use AI, it's not really clear, right? There are actually several different categories. Like, for example, there's text generators. Text generators are probably what you're most familiar with, like ChatGPT, Cloudy, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. These help with the writing, research, explanation, even coding questions. And then we have image generators like Midjourney, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, and also Gemini Nano, Banana Nano. And students use this for visual concept, mood boards, creating illustration for presentation, especially useful for design student. But really anyone who needs visuals. And next one is code assistant, like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, and Reply AI. These are game changers for programming courses because they help for debug code, suggest solution, and explain errors. And for data and analyze tools, you can actually use ChatGPT for data analyze now. And there's a Notebook LM for research synthesis, super helpful for student working with datasets or doing literature review. For multimedia AI is emerging too. Tools like Runway for video editing, 11 Labs for voice synthesis, Suno for music creation, more specialized, but a student in media, film, or creative field are using this. And finally, specialized tools like things like Grammarly for grammar, Perplexity for advanced search, and subject-specific AI assistant. The point is, AI in education isn't one thing, it's a whole ecosystem, and students are navigating all of this. Next, please. Okay, how do students use text generators? First, we use for SI support. We use for brainstorm ideas, outline structure, explain concept, improve clarity. The key difference is using AI to understand how to argue versus having AI write with your essay. So it's really different to asking to asking how to argue a bit, or we used to ask AI for write another like essay, a whole essay. And the second one is research. Summarize papers, like compare theories, generate study question, or explain difficult topics. This is 20 for me as AI is 24/7 tutor. Like I don't have to wait for it. And the last one is problem solving, like step-by-step math, maybe like, or the book code, understand formulas, check calculation. But the goal is should always be understanding, not just getting answer. That's the main of using AI, that we need to understanding, not just getting answer. Next slide, please. Okay, and now image generators. This is where things get really interesting, especially for visual field. In design and architecture, students use AI for conceptual design iteration. You can generate 50 variation of a building form in a minute. That's incredible valuable for the idea space. Mood boards for communication atmosphere, site visualization, ideas, material and texture studies for form exploration. And I want to emphasize these are starting points. No architecture student is submitting an AI generate image as the final design, but as a brainstorming tool, absolutely valid. For presentation and report across all disciplines, students use image generators to create a custom illustration when maybe stock photos doesn't fit, and generate infographics elements, create header image for report, and another one like for creative project for art student, maybe they can make games design student, graphic designers. They use AI for inspiring character concept and scenes composition, like style reference and visual brainstorming. The creativity still comes from the student, but AI just for tool, like a Photoshop. It's a tool, but you need to know what you want to create. Next, please. Okay, this is here's the example. As an architecture student, I use AI tools such as Gemini Pro, Nano, Banana, mainly to save time during the rendering process and to improve visual quality. AI helps me optimize lighting, like a texture and presentation. And this is also allowing me to focus more on design development rather than tactical repetition. However, the before design stage must be done independently. So I need to make it first. This process requires human thinking, sensitivity, and architectural reasoning, which is AI cannot replace. AI should support our work, not think for us. As a student, we are responsible for defining the ideas, values, and narratives behind the design. AI is a tool, but the architect remains the one who thinks, decides, and creates meaning. Next slide, please. Okay, for code and data AI, crucial for STEAM and research, like for example, like for programming, for understanding logic, debug errors, optimize algorithm, and learn maybe new language. For data analyze, we can use for clean data sets, create visualization, etc. For technical project, there's like automation, AP integration, database queries. The key is AI can show you how, but you must understand why it works. Next slide, please. Okay, now the heart of the matter, what responsibility versus what's academic misconduct. So responsibly use is use AI to understand, not to replace learning. And the second one is ask why, not just for answer. The third one is generate ideas, develop them yourself. The fourth one is use as a tutor for a difficult subject. And the fifth one, cite AI when you use it. And the last one is verify from multiple sources. For academic misconduct, of course, like submit AI works as your own. That's plagiarism and that's cheating. And a copy paste entire essay or code and use AI to bypass learning core skill. Let AI do your critical thinking, hide AI use when transparency required. And the last one is rely only on AI without verification. So the key is, am I learning or am I cheating myself? If you finish using AI and you learn something, that's good for you. But if you just got an answer to copy, that's the problem. Next slide, please. Okay, but there are gray areas that we face daily. This is like one of the maybe like 5 of the question that maybe we always ask. The first one is like maybe AI image for concept. Is it acceptable or not? For me, is yes as inspiration, but for develop the final work, it should be done with ourselves. And AI to explain code errors, yes, but understand to fix it. Don't just copy it. Tell professor about ChatGPT use. When it dubbed, disclose. A transparency build trust. AI to improve English. Generally, yes, for ESL students, but the ideas must be yours. AI to improve English. AI for data visualization. Yes, it's acceptable if you understand the methodology. This question come up constantly, and that's why we need clear guidance. Next, please. So what we need as student, need from educators and institution, there's 3 main things. The first one is clear guidelines. We need to know the specific AI policies for each assignment. Like for example, not a blank, don't use AI policy. That's not realistic for us. Tell us what's allowed and what's not for this specific assignment. Define what's permitted versus prohibited. Give us example of responsible use, and please update these policies as AI evolves. What was true 6 months ago might not be true now. The second one is education and training. Don't just tell us don't cheat with AI. Teach us how to use AI ethically. Show us best practice in our specific fields. An architecture student using AI responsibly looks different from a computer sciences student using it responsibly. Discuss like a real world implication in the professional world. We will be working with AI. Prepare for us for the reality. Teach us critical evaluation for AI outputs. How do we verify information? How do we recognize when AI is wrong? The third one is open dialogue. Create a safe space where we can ask questions without fear of punishment. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, students have responsibility to our commitment. Use AI to enhance learning, not replacing it. Be transparent about AI assistant. Develop core skill independently. Engage in ethical discussion. Take full responsibility for our work, keep learning about AI capabilities and limits. And this is becoming better learner and professionals and not gaming the system. Next slide, please. Okay, let's wrap up. AI is transforming education. That's happening now across all fields. The question isn't whether to use AI. The question is how to use its responsibility. This doesn't have to be adversarial. A student versus professor trying to catch cheaters. That's the wrong framing for me. We all want meaningful learning that prepares student for reality. And in the real world, AI is everywhere. Everywhere. Lawyers, doctor, engineer, architect, all is AI. Banning it in education doesn't prepare student. Teaching ethical use does. For educators, work with us, create reasonable policies, design assessment that test thinking, not just output, keep an open mind. For students, be honest, use AI to learn, don't shortchange for education, speak up when you need clarity. For everyone, you have open conversation, share best practice, and learn together. The future isn't AI free. It's AI informed. It's AI enhanced, but human centered. Because education is about developing human potential, critical thinking, creative problem solving. AI is a powerful tool to help us get there. Let us use it wisely. Thank you. Happy to discuss further.
Thank you very much, Nabila, for a very timely manner presentation. It's a very fruitful and insightful perspective from student perspective, particularly highlighting about the AI utilization in architecture, in visual and 3D rendering. And you also mentioned about student needs, what students really want from their teachers or lecturers during this AI transformative era. And you also highlight it in the end, how the students are also committed to be an ethical learner during this AI era. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for holding your burning up questions to our question and answer session. Finally, we arrive to this discussion session. I would like to invite questions from the audience. Please feel free to raise your hand with emoticon, and we will invite you to open your mic. Please introduce yourself, where you're coming from, and then to whom the question is raised, and then state the question. We also invite questions from audience who are typing in our chat box. So please prepare your questions and we will advance for the discussion session. We have a raising hand here from Adelia Dewi Mariam. Adelia Dewi Mariam, we invite you to open your microphone and raise the question. Do we have Adelia here?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Adelia Dewi Mariam from UPI Indonesia. This question is addressed to the panel, especially Mr. Oka. Referring to the discussion on AI ethics and AI bias, how should higher education institutions respond to the increasing use of AI-based plagiarism or AI detection tools as mandatory requirements for publication or graduation, considering that these tools still raise concern regarding bias and reliability? For example, highly formal and historical texts such as Indonesia 1945 Constitution have in some cases been flagged as AI generated. Despite being written long before AI existed, how can institutions ensure fairness and avoid academics injustice in such situation? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adelia. Mr. Oka, would you kindly respond to the question?
Thank you very much, Ms. Adele, for your interesting questions. This is also one of the concern that we have to tackle altogether, especially if we talk about in higher education. Well, currently in Indonesia, just like I said earlier in my presentation, that Indonesia has also published guidelines for higher education institutions, how to conduct learning and teaching process with also the help of AI. This is as well a unique situation where as law or some form of law documents or tractate documents considered called as an AI produced document. Well, it can be it can be considered that way, but if we should rethink again of how do we see an AI detection tools work, especially on things that perhaps AI couldn't keep up right now. For example, just like what you said, how the law of the 1945 policy is considered as an AI. So in this respect, I would like to move the concern to institutionalized reformations. First of all, institutions should also help the students as well as lecture to guide the students and lecture on how to use AI properly, especially in terms of text generation, things that what we concern nowadays. We have to first of all in the lecturer sides at the systemic level, teachers should start to move from make an assignment that only asks or tests the students whether they can answer questions or not. Rather, we ask teacher or we ask the lecturer to help diagnose the students. Thus, they have the difficulties in understanding something. Thus, the students have some sort of blind spot area that they couldn't keep up or catch up. This is where the teacher should be the should have the role of diagnostic tools in terms of AI era, in this AI era. The next one is how to prevent this text generation plagiarism. Is to also equip the institution system that also can detect as well as evaluates the detection, whether it's also valid that the AI scan this as an AI produced or not. There's some tools actually that can help institutions to mitigate this to happen. We have turned it in right now. Some of the universities use these tools not only for plagiarism, but also to detect whether it's an AI product or not. But we in my perspective we can't just rely on the report. For example, 80% AI generated. We have to check again which part of the assignments or documents that detected as an AI used. So in that way, the university and the institution can really mitigate and got railing those types of bad practice. That will be my opinion. Hopefully, it's opens up any other questions or perhaps concern regarding this topic as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oka. But I believe that our Azan is currently going on. So shall we wait until the Azan finished? Thank you very much for your understanding. Thank you very much for bearing with us, listening to Azan calling for prayers. Now we shall convene back to our discussion session. Thank you very much, Mr. Oka, for the answer to the question from Adelia. And I believe that we also have question from our Q&A box here. It's from Indonesia, Fatihin. I will read the question. How can AI help bridge the skills gap between TVET graduates and industry needs, especially in developing countries like Indonesia? So I think this question can be answered to any of you. Probably Dr. Umar Hanif or Dr. Didin would like to give a shot.
Okay, maybe a short response from me. Yeah, we can use AI for encourage student of TVET, yeah, to improve their skill. For example, now is the era of pipe codings. Yeah, student of TVET without any background of programming compared to the informatics program can also improve their programming skill by using AI. Yeah, we can use AI for learning from A to Z. Yeah, about how to program in how to say particularly language, and also maybe we can use editor powered by AI to develop some of application that related to the skill needed for the TVET graduates. I think this is one of way for how to say integrating the AI in our academic curriculum and also with the uh, industrial needed. Yeah, maybe from others there is
Yeah.
any suggestion.
Uh, Yeah, may I add
Dr.
some?
Oka, yeah, you may
Yeah.
add to the answer.
Yeah, I do also concur with what Dr. Didin just said earlier about AI has the potential to help students to develop themselves, but the main I think we need to make sure that teachers and all educators also encourage the students also to awaken themselves, awaken their awareness about the gap itself, because sometimes the only one who knows about the gap is only the teacher or the policymaker. We understand the skill gaps between the student skills and the industry's need, but sometimes students couldn't find it easier to get to know about what skills needed by the industry. So we have to encourage the students to realize themselves about what should they learn and what do they want to become, and then to clarify what skills that they should acquire to follow or pursue their dreams. So in this era, I think educators needs to help students realize that kind of things. And after that, we can go through of what Dr. Didin just said earlier. They will use AI for their development to close the gap, to really see what things that I can do as a student to help me tackle those skills for me. I think that will be my answer.
Thank you, Mr. Oka. Dr. Umar Hanif, would you like to add some more pertinent to that?
I think we are running out of time, right? We still have several other participants to ask, but in general, I already experienced that. When I just graduated, I was asked to learn something new, which it took like months during that time. But if we have AI during that time, perhaps it will be much shorter.
Thank you very much for the answers to the question. Shall we move forward to our next question? We are going to address question from Cambodia, Nop Sokom. Are there any challenges in studying for exam when they use AI? So I believe this will be Nabila's turn to respond to that question.
Okay. First of all, thank you for the question. Yes, there are challenges when using AI for exam preparation. Over reliance on AI can reduce critical thinking and problem-solving skill. And also, like, student may also struggle to distinguish between truly understanding a concept and simply receiving answer. Another challenge is inaccuracy. Like AI can provide out data or incorrect information, so student must always verify sources. In some case, when AI lacks context or knowledge, a student need to guide the AI reasoning first, which requires a strong conceptual understanding. So that's why, because of this, AI should be used as a learning assistant, not a shortcut, especially in exam preparation. Thank you.
Well, I hope that answered the question from our Cambodian audience. I think we also have question from Indonesia, Miss Nisa Uzakia from UPI. Would you like to ask the question in person in this session, Miss Nisa Uzakia?
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ilham. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. I have a question for all participants, all speakers. And then I have a general statements. Currently, AI is widely used a learning support tool in TVET institution. Its implementation often focus on efficiency and task completion. But I have two questions. Number one, how does AI in TVET institution currently support the development and assessment of higher order thinking skills? And also, what practice and future AI in TVET challenges strengthen work-related competencies? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Auzakia. Anyone from the panelists would like to address the question?
Yeah. Thank you very much for the questions. This is an interesting questions as well. Well, some concern also raised when AI sometimes make the students or brain lazy. It's not happening not only to the student, actually, it's also happening to us. I'm also a student, but also as an assistant researcher, as a lecturer and stuff. We often use AI to help us to think and help us to conceptualize something before we get in touch with the concept or the product for sure. But when it comes to the questions about how do we analyze the critical thinking of the students, for example, in terms of how AI could help us to analyze the critical thinking of the students. For me, for sure, the first one is to have questions, to have test tools that really more focus on diagnostic rather than testing their abilities, their capabilities in comprehend some of the theory or issue. For example, we can't just ask about 1 plus 1 is equal what. I think the question should be written differently. For example, why 1 plus 1 equals 2? It can be answered by the AI, but we can also reflect, add reflective questions. For example, why do you think 1 plus 1 equals 2? That will make the students have or needs to answer this on their own, right? Another example of how we can form the questions is, for example, this is a type of diagnostic questions like, which part of this sentence that you don't understand, that you need more explanation or something, and so on. And then the next thing that we can do to help things that we can do to make the students still using their brain to do something is, for sure, we can make it as an offline test of form, for sure. Sometimes we have to have divide or detach all those that kind of savvy technology stuff like AI or something and back to traditional test. But once again, this is not the era of asking what is the definition of something, where is this happened, and so on and so on. Much more on the problem solving questions, real situation questions, and also spontaneous questions, spontaneous type of test, a conversational test, or perhaps an interview test, that kind of things that perhaps we can do to help to diagnose the critical thinking of the students. The other things, AI has also a potential to help the teacher to really understand whether the student is know about the stuff that we are talking about or not by copying the students' test results to the AI as well, right? Whether it's does it done by AI or this is a genuine uh, results from the students, as well as summarizing the answer of the students.
Thank you.
That will be my answer.
Thank you, Mr. Oka. It's a very fruitful discussions. But for the time constraint, I think we will move forward to our last but not least question from Brunei Darussalam, from Puang Nur Jeffria. Puang Nur Jeffria, would you like to raise the question live in this discussion session? Or do you prefer me to read out loud the question? Oh, okay. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Pingiran Nojafia binti Prem Muhammad. I'm from Institute of Brunei Technical Education in Brunei. Thank you for all the presentation. It was a very excellent presentation, and it's very fruitful as well, listening to each one of you. One of my question is asking is for Mr. Muhammad Oka. What is the potential risk arise when you implementing AI support green pedagogy, and how does your green framework guide educators in mitigating this risk sustainably, ensuring the authenticity of your student work, and as well as the ethical use of AI by the student? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the questions. This is also highlighted in my presentation actually too, but unfortunately I couldn't have a time to explain how AI can also misguide it, also have a potential risk. But as well, I do also propose solutions and as well as guard railing for that risk. Well, AI for sure have very great potential to help teacher to design the learning process, but it also have a risk in terms of hallucination. Sometimes some sentence or paragraph sounds coherent, sounds good at some point, but on the other side, it can be also have a potential misaligned with the actual theoretical state. That said, we have to have human verifications to really see into the results that AI give it to us. My research is actually focused on this thing, help to guard railings, how teacher prompting an AI to help them to develop a learning design that mitigate the bias, hallucination, misleading information, and so on and so on. My research currently in my dissertation is focused on using the green framework that I developed earlier to be implemented in AI, which is what we call as AI prompting engineering. So we will develop a prompt that really make the risk level much more lower, as well as helping teacher to make a rubrics to validate whether the learning design is viable, is feasible, and also doable within the TVET context and the training context. So that will be my answer. If you interested in my research, you can search it online on Green Framework. The Green Framework itself is framework that guide teacher to design the learning process much more greener. We talk about green itself is not an actual green, though the green itself is an abbreviation of a process. Green is a goal identification, and then relate to green skills, engage embed the stimuli, which is what kind of issues that can be talked about, what point in SDGs that can be infused in, and so on and so on. And then we have to continue the next phase to elaborate how we design the learning process and design the learning pathway, especially, and then concluding with how do we deliver it by navigating what kind of media or what kind of activities that really help the students to understand better about the environmental issues, the sustainability, the green or natural issues that been faced within the learning goals. That would be my answer. If you're interested, we can discuss it further. I'm sure this need further explanation since it's a very procedural and technical
Yeah,
to be
that
explained.
would be great. Because we are interested in term of the at the moment in Brunei, we are trying to develop in term of our curriculum
Yeah.
and to instill on green skill to our student as well. So we are very interested in further discussion in the implementing the green framework. If that all right with you, I don't know.
Yeah,
For sure,
thank
for
you.
sure. I will attach
Thank you.
my email in the chat box. Perhaps other participants that also have the same concern or interested in this topic, you can also reach me out at my email.
Thank you very much, Dr. Noor, Mr. Oka Ramadan. This was a very fruitful discussion, and we are happy to bridge communications for future collaboration among the participants in this particular webinar session. That is also one of the outcomes that can yield from this webinar session. Ladies and gentlemen, for the constraint of time, we would like to wrap up and conclude this speaker session and question and answer session. I would like to deliver some final thought about our webinar session. From our speakers, four speakers in our session, and also the discussion session, we have learned various AI utilization in teaching, in learning, in research, in publication, and also in industrial sector, such as future scale for TVET sector, which is AI-enabled EV charging. So AI presents enormous opportunities for TVET institutions for modernized learning, extend research potential, and also educate our students, bridge them with future jobs in the industry. It all needs institutional strategic planning. This is something that we haven't mentioned or discussed in this particular webinar on AI and TVET. So this would be our way forward after this webinar session. So it needs strategic planning, capacity building, and also ethical grounding. So especially in this emerging economy in Indonesia and also Southeast Asia. So as a closing reflection, I would say that the journey towards AI-driven digital transformation in TVET institutions, especially in teaching, learning, research, publication, and future skills in TVET, is not merely about technological adaptation or technological adoption. It's about reimagining how we prepare our students, our learners, in rapidly evolving workplaces, how we leverage the teacher competencies in using the AI and impart the competencies to our students or learners, and how our researchers can do their research using AI in a various aspect of their research and also publish ethically. So we cannot avoid the human touch that defines the quality of vocational education, even though the AI is transforming us, transforming TVET institution, and transforming our industry. So success will depend on collaboration, continuous learning, and commitment to equitable access for these transformative technologies. With that notes, I will conclude this speaker session and also discussion. I will hand over to Master of Ceremony. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Ilham Dania, for guiding the main session. Thank you very much also for all speakers for the insightful presentation, and thank you very much for all the participants who asking and involved the discussion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the end of this inspiring and insightful webinar, allow me, on behalf of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia and UNESCO Regional Office in Jakarta, to express our sincere appreciation to all speakers, the moderator, and participants for your valuable contributions. Today's discussion has highlighted only the transformation potential of AI in TVET, but also the importance of ethics, responsibility, sustainability, and collaboration in navigating digital transformation. We hope this webinar serves as a meaningful starting point for continued dialogue, capacity building, and future partnership among TVET institutions, educators, researchers, and policymakers across the region. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly remind also to everyone, please fill the feedback questionnaire as a sign that you attend this event, and the link is already available in the chat box. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we officially close the session, we kindly invite all speakers and participants to remain online for a group session as a token of our shared learning experience today. So please turn on your camera and we will take a photo in the end of this session. Yeah, make sure your camera on and give your best smile to the camera. I will lead from here. Okay, I will count until 3. Okay. Be ready, everyone, and give your the best smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, all the participants, all the speakers, moderator, and also all the stakeholders who attend this event. And once again, thank you for your active participation and enthusiasm. With that, I'm Nisa Aulia as a Master of Ceremony for this event. My sincere apologies for any mistakes made during the program. I officially close the webinar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and have a wonderful day.